Story of Ishola Oyenusi, Nigeria's notorious armed robber who died smiling. Ishola Oyenusi, prevalently known as Dr. Oyenusi, was a famously outfitted burglar who threatened the individuals of Lagos and other neighboring urban areas during the 1970s. Ishola Oyenusi and his posse of 6 were exceptionally talented in grabbing vehicles, looting banks, manufacturing plants, stores, and slaughtering individuals like chickens. Was Ishola Oyenusi really a medical doctor or a PhD holder? Dr. Oyenusi, as he was called, was not a specialist by calling but rather received the title for entertainment purposes. The proof lies in an admission he made a couple of moments before his execution. He admitted that his folks were not fit for encouraging his auxiliary school training, and that was what constrained him into the theft. So without having an auxiliary school instruction, Oyenusi by no chance could have been a clinical specialist. Oyenusi's robbery exploits. Oyenusi began his theft profession by grabbing a vehicle, whose proprietor kicked the bucket all the while, in light of the fact that his, Oyenusi, sweetheart required some cash. It was guaranteed by certain sources that Oyenusi was sentimental. He sold the vehicle at the cost of N400 and gave the cash to his better half. It was additionally said that Oyenusi was hot-tempered and calm egotistical. During his capture, he roared down on a cop who was guiding him around. He stated, "Individuals, as you don't converse with me like that when I'm equipped, I weapon them down." Specialist Ishola Oyenusi came into the spotlight after the Nigerian Common War ended in 1970. He ransacked banks and individuals in both sunshine and night, and he never let any of his casualties live to see one more day. He killed them all. This earned him the name, Specialist Loot and Murder. At the stature of his horrendous rule, Ishola Oyenusi boasted that, "The slug has no force." He most likely overlooked that he who lives by the blade will definitely bite the dust by the sword. Oyenusi was scandalous to such an extent that he was viewed by certain individuals as the primary commended equipped burglar in Nigeria, and after him was Lawrence Anini, Babatunde Folorunsho, Baba Oni Trim, Sheena Rambo, Baremo Jimo and others. Ishola Oyenusi's arrest. Be that as it may, nothing keeps going forever, and as the Yoruba aphorism says, ordinary has a place with the criminal while a day has a place with the proprietor. On the 27th of March, 1971, Oyenusi was grabbed by the police during one of his burglary activities where he and his infamous posse slaughtered a police constable named Mr. Nawi and took $28,000 as at that point. The haze of disgrace drifted above Dr. Ishola Oyenusi as he was cast under the watchful eye of the law and saw as liable at that point, condemned to death by terminating crew. Oyenusi admitted that he was not to kick the bucket alone on the grounds that he didn't carry out the violations alone. He regurgitated the names of different individuals from the posse, which were as per the following: Joseph Osamadike, Ambrose Nwokobia, Joel Amamiai, Philip Ogbolamane, Adamola Adegbatan, and Stephen Ndubuku. In those days, open execution was the thing to get done, so when Oyenusi was guided to the mainstream bar beach in Lagos where he was to be executed, more than 30,000 Nigerians were cheerfully and enthusiastically standing by to see the man who had threatened them get perplexed by hot projectiles. It was said that some government workers even carried a final resting place to the execution ground to deride the once strong looter boss who was present only a substitute whose breath would be depleted at whatever second. Ishola Oyenusi's execution. Trucks conveying Oyenusi and his agents showed up at the execution ground around 10 am. Specialist Oyenusi, his posse individuals, and one other criminal got down gradually. Individuals scoffed and booed them, particularly Oyenusi, who they had truly trooped out to watch bite the dust. Oyenusi wore a dull long-sleeve shirt and had his hands bound behind him. He was perspiring lavishly yet figured out how to grin right to the stakes. He continued grinning, and grinning, however could at present not conceal the desolation and fear composed strikingly all over. Few moments before he was shot, Oyenusi told writers that he would not have wandered into furnished theft if his folks were fit for sending him to optional school. He additionally said, "I am biting the dust for the offense I have submitted." Oyenusi and different lawbreakers were secured to the stakes. The fighters lined before them and pointed their ever-prepared weapons. A portion of the lawbreakers hollered their final expressions of dissent at the cameras. At that point, a boisterous voice let out, "Fire!" Oyenusi and other hoodlums' bodies were splashed with shots. Like and subscribe for more.